Namaste, angels. I've very randomly been guided to record our video for the 19th, the daily for the 19th, in honor of King Osiris. I have an hour and a half before my strengthening class. So it is completely random, although I'm pretty sure I get it. Today is the 13th. And so that is the day, as we discussed in the general, that Venus and Jupiter were going to be coming about 0.3 degrees within each other. And it was very, very positive conjunction. And of course, Jupiter is Zeus, is Osiris. The Roman and Greek, quote unquote, mythologies are based in ancient Egyptian culture. So I'm pretty sure that that's why I'm here. I don't know why it took until this hour, but so it is. It's 5:40. My class is at 7. I'm in what would be called the financial district, and the class is in Soho. So it's not all that far, but two different neighborhoods, and I have to travel a little bit. In any case, let's get into it. So November 19th is the 323rd day of the year in the Gregorian calendar. There will be 42 days remaining until the end of the year. So right away, I'm seeing numbers. 323 is 8 and 42 is 6 equals 14, which is another number that represents King Osiris for me, not just 19. And that's because when he was murdered, he was cut into 14 pieces. So when I see 14, I see that as like Father whole. Well, let's see what else happened on this day. I'm going to go to www.onthisday.com. In the year 1530, or 9, 9 is jumping out, so 9 may be important today, like 66 was the other day. The recess document resulting from the Diet of Augsburg is signed by Charles V and Catholic princes. 1620, also 9, the Mayflower reaches Cape Cod and explores the coast. 1805, Lewis and Clark expedition reaches the Pacific Ocean. It's the first European Americans to cross into the West. 1805, looks like another 14. Yeah. 1863, or 99, which is 9. U.S. President Abraham Lincoln delivers his Gettysburg Address beginning 47 years ago. Of course, 4 and 7, 11. 1969, or 7, another number that represents God. Apollo 12's Charles Conrad and Alan Bean become the 3rd and 4th humans on the moon. 1985, another 14. U.S. President Ronald Reagan and Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev meet for the first time. Did you know American inventor Frederick E. Blaisdell patents the pencil on November 19th in the year 1895? Another 14. Famous birthdays: Charles I, James Garfield, Hiram Bingham, Indira Gandhi, Roy Campanella, who doesn't look like I recall him to be. Looks like a Caucasian gentleman. Roy Campanella is a Negro League player, no, Major League player. MVP after Jackie Robinson. The 6th, I think. You're probably wondering, why would I know this? Well, my grandmother was basically like a numbers runner. And the numbers were based on games, football games, baseball games. She knew every team, every player, every score by memory. If you ever saw Malcolm X, you know, the West Indian Archie, how he had all the numbers in his head, that was my grandmother. Or Queen, you ever saw Harlem, the movie Queen? That was my grandmother. So I learned, some of this from her. Pretty sure Roy Campanella played for the Dodgers, and he was the 6th black player to go major leagues in the 2nd MVP after Jackie Robinson. Maybe we'll learn that in a minute. So don't quote me yet. Jodie Foster is the last of the birthdays. She is 54 years old, also 9. All right, you know what? I'll do the birthdays now. I'm not even going to go any further. Charles I was King of England. He lost the English Civil War. He was executed in Whitehall, London. But at the time of his execution, he wore an extra shirt because he didn't want the shivers due to the cold. He didn't want to be he didn't want his shivers to be misinterpreted as being due to the cold. No, this is written funny. Let me let me say it again, inserting the words where they belong. He lost the English Civil War, was executed in Whitehall, London, and wore an extra shirt because he did not want shivers due to the cold to be misinterpreted as fear. He was born on November 19th in the year 1600. So another 7. He was a Scorpio, of course, from Dunfermline, Fife, Scotland. He died on January 30th in the year 1649 at the age of 48. 1649, another 11. Cause of death, decapitation. James Garfield was the 20th U.S. president, member of the United States House of Representatives from Ohio's 19th district. So there's another 19. His presidential term went from March 4th in 1881, 9 through September 19th, another 19 here, 919. Also the year 1881, 9. So very short-lived presidency. He was preceded by Rutherford B. Hayes and succeeded by Chester A. Arthur. He's famous because he was the 20th president of the United States in the year 1881. His presidency lasted just 200 days. It went from March 4th, 1881 until his death on September 19th, 1881, which was as a result of being shot by an assassin earlier in the year. Garfield, who represented Ohio in the House of Representatives, is to this day the only president elected who had been a sitting House member. Despite his exceptionally brief period in time in office, Garfield's accomplishments as president included a controversial resurgence of presidential authority above senatorial courtesy in executive appointments, also energizing the U.S. naval power and purging corruption in the post office department. He also advocated for civil service reform, which was signed into law by his successor. Garfield was shot by Charles J. Guiteau, Guiteau, on July 2nd in the year 1881. So, of course, July 2nd is 9 also, and 1881 is 9. Together they equal 9. The wound was not immediately fatal, but had medical practices and uses of unwashed tools and hands by his doctors is what led to the wound becoming infected. He died on September 19th in 1881, making him one of 4 U.S. presidents to have been assassinated following Abraham Lincoln and before William McKinley and John F. Kennedy. He was succeeded by Vice President Chester A. Arthur. He was born on November 19th in the year 1831, and which is 11/11, by the way, 1831. And he was a Scorpio from Moreland Hills, Ohio, USA. So he was born on a 19. He died on a 19. And September 19th, 1881 is a true 19. It's just 19 straight across, like when you add up all the numbers. He was 49 at the time, which is 1304 or 1111, by the way. Cause of death, assassination. Hiram Bingham. Bingham is most famous for discovering and bringing to the attention of the Western world the ancient Incan site of Machu Picchu in Peru. He later became a U.S. Senator and a governor of Connecticut. He was born on November 19th in 1875 and was a Scorpio from Honolulu, Hawaii, USA. He died on June 6th, which is 66, another number that was popular this weekend in my other reading, in the year 1956, which could also be a 66. He was 80 at the time. 6666 equals 24 equals 6. Oh, goodness. Indira Gandhi, she was murdered. She was the Indian Prime Minister. Yes. Profession, 4th Prime Minister of India. Why is she famous? Gandhi was a central figure of the Indian National Congress Party and became the 4th Prime Minister of India. She served as Prime Minister from 1966, there go your 6 6s again, to the year 1977, and then again from 1980 until her assassination in 1984, which is 85, which is 13 or 4 or 11. This makes her the second longest serving prime minister of India and the only woman to hold office. She was born on November 19th in 1917 and was a Scorpio from Allahabad, Uttar Pradesh, India. She died on October 31st in the year 1984 at the age of 66. There was another one. Cause of death, yes, was assassination. Roy Campanella. Let's see if I'm right or if this, I just talked a whole bunch of crap. Profession, yes, Major League Baseball catcher. He's famous because he was widely considered to have been one of the greatest catchers in the history of the game. He played for the Brooklyn Dodgers during the 1940s and 50s as one of the pioneers in breaking the color barrier in the major leagues. His career was cut short in 1958 when he was paralyzed in an automobile accident. He was born on November 19th in the year 1921 and was a Scorpio from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, USA. He died on June 26 in 1993 at the age of 71 of a heart attack. So if anybody wants to look up the other stuff to, you know, tell me I'm wrong or whatever, you're free to do that. I'm pretty sure I'm right, though, now that I see that I was right in general. And Jodie Foster, whose real name is Alicia Christian Foster, is an actress. She's famous for Taxi Driver in 1976, The Accused in 1988, and The Silence of the Lambs in 1991. She was born on November 19th in 1962, which is 9, and is 54 years old, which is 9, a Scorpio from Los Angeles, California. That was the last of the birthdays. I'm going to go on down now. Would you believe McCaughey septuplets, born to Bobby McCaughey in Des Moines, Iowa, the first set of septuplets to survive infancy. This happened on November 19th in 1997. Famous weddings. 1834, U.S. President Franklin Pierce, 30, weds Jane Pierce, 28, in Amherst, New Hampshire. 1923, architect Frank Lloyd Wright, 56, weds artist Maud Noel. 1939, baseball legend Joe DiMaggio, 24, weds Freshies actress Dorothy Arnold at St. Peter and Paul Church in San Francisco. I was just talking about St. Peter and Paul Church, but the one in Rome, not San Francisco, as part of the Weekly General. 1954, and of course Joe DiMaggio, also Marilyn Monroe's husband. Anyway, 1954, actress Vera Ellen, 33, weds millionaire Victor Rothschild at St. Paul's Lutheran Church in Los Angeles. 1986, Hall of Famer boxing champ Muhammad Ali, 44, weds Yolanda Williams, and famous divorces. Singer Jermaine Jackson in 2004, at the age of 49, divorces Alejandra Genevieve Oziaza, 35, after 9 years of marriage. 14-year age difference between them. There goes your 14 again. Famous deaths, Franz Schubert and Emma Lazarus. Emma Lazarus was a poet best known for The New Colossus, a sonnet written in 1883, or 9/11, or which is 11. Its lines appear on a bronze plaque in the pedestal of the Statue of Liberty and were placed there in 1903. She was born on July 22nd, which is 7/4 or 11, in the year 1849, which is 13 or 4 or 11/11. Altogether equaling 6 equals love. She was a Cancer from New York City, New York, USA. She died on November 19th in the year 1887 at the age of 38 or 11. Cause of death was most likely Hodgkin's lymphoma. And lastly, Franz Schubert. He was a composer. Franz Schubert was only 31 when he died, yet he composed over 600 works, a fraction of which were published within his lifetime. The son of a school teacher, he lived most of his life in obscurity in Vienna. It was only after his death in 1828 from typhoid fever and probably syphilis that the extent of his composition was discovered, published, and performed. Schubert is particularly known for his melodies and songs, writing over 500 of the latter. Some of the most famous include The Erkling, Minion, Songs from Goethe, and those based Don Walter Scott's Lady of the Lake. Schubert wrote 8 more or less completed symphonies, though his most well-known is perhaps his Unfinished Symphony. That's the name of it. He wrote that in 1822, which is 22 or 4, master number 22, or 4, or 1111. He was born on January 31st in the year 1797 and was an Aquarius from Vienna, Austria. He died on November 19th in 1828 at the age of 31 of typhoid fever and syphilis. And with that, I think I'm done telling you about the 19th. Of course, this day is in honor of King Osiris. I started to get, it's 5:55 exactly. I just looked up. Equals 6 equals love. I started to look up something, but I always get upset, like when the story is incorrect. I have videos on King Osiris at length and Queen Isis as well. Basically, let's just say they were a happily married couple, but went through their trials and tribulations like the rest of us, basically the divine couple of all time. So what they went through, we are made in their image. What we go through now is what they go through. King Osiris was tempted, tricked into sleeping with another one of their sisters because he and Isis are brother and sister. It is said as part of the mythology that they then had a child together. From what I was told more directly, that is not his child. And this is why, for example, Christians, particularly Catholics, when they recite prayers, they'll be sure to say the only son of the Father. He only has one son, and that is Horus. So the other son that they were saying was his is Anubis. That's not his son, he says. That's Set's son. Set, or also known as Seth, is one of their brothers as well. One of the original 8. There were 8 in the beginning. Isis, the only female. Set is one of the original 8. When Isis was away, and Osiris was visiting with him, with Set, Set pretended to be throwing him a party. So ironically, we're talking about, his birthday today. Set was throwing him a party. He invited 72 despicable people to join them. And as a gift, he was presenting him with this gemstone, gold, mother of pearl, everything you can imagine, inlay box, basically a coffin. And similar to Cinderella and the gold, and the glass slipper, said, let's play a game. Whoever can fit in this box can have it. And everybody tried to fit in it. They did not fit in it appropriately, of course. Osiris was the only one that did. And, as soon as he was like, oh, I fit in it, I win, or whatever, Set was like, yeah, you sure do. Locked the box, screwed it shut. He and the other 72 people, held him down, held the box shut so that they could nail it closed until he suffocated. Isis, although not there, and basically what they were doing was in the meantime, turning up with hoes, all kind of stuff, it was a party. Isis wasn't there, but she could feel her husband, leave her in that instant and knew what had happened. So she went looking for him. When she caught up with Set, that's when he chopped him up, basically, so that she couldn't find him. I'm making a longer story short. Chopped him up and threw his penis specifically into the river. Fish caught it, ate it. No one's allowed to eat that fish, that type of fish, ever again. Isis gets together with Thot, another one of the original, and together they craft of gold a new penis for Osiris and bring him back to life. And then she got pregnant with Horus. And I'll stop it there. Osiris was thereafter no longer incarnated, you know, but still the god he had always been, and ruled mostly from elsewhere. All right, so on to happier stuff. Also on the 19th is the first day of the month of Kislev on the Hebrew calendar. So I'll talk more about this. I'll have something prepared to, you know, from which to read when I do the weekly general reading for next week. But to just give you a little idea, Kislev, again, it begins on the 19th. If we're counting from Nisan, it is the 9th month of the ecclesiastical year. If we're counting from Rosh Hashanah, which was in September, right? Yes. It is the 3rd month of the year. The highlight of this month, Kislev, is Hanukkah. Hanukkah is basically, in summation, similar to Diwali for Indians and, you know, people of Eastern cultures. The celebration of light over dark, good over evil, the festival of lights. Both are called the festival of lights, Hanukkah and Diwali. And they're similar. And that's where Judith comes in big part with Hanukkah. And that's why I want to talk to you guys about her also in the general when I record that for beginning Sunday, the 19th. All right. So with that, I dropped these dice here. And I think King Osiris is being funny. I'm beginning with romantic dinner. Eat cake. So I think he wants us to celebrate his birthday, have dinner and dessert. And email. So maybe we should email first. Maybe I had them in the wrong order. Email first, initiate a date, have dinner and dessert, which would go along actually with the reading for this week. The love reading. When I did that first spread with the hashtag creepy deck, it began with initiating a date and going out. So maybe. And the date, I think, was under the full moon. Massage just landed upright. Under the full moon, which is the day before. Right. That's why I said I'm doing this out of order, too, because I would have normally recorded the new moon reading before recording this, but I was moved to record this. I'll put them up in order. So you won't get to see this one until after the new moon reading is posted, but I was moved to record it today. Again, I think it's the Jupiter energy that I was supposed to get a hold of. So in any case, also have a cocktail while you're out. All right. And then, you know, just let it continue. Let the good times continue to roll, as they say, and do a weekend away too. If you already had something to do, forget it. Change your plans. This sounds more fun. All right. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have a ton of cards here. I think I'm going to start with the Angel Tarot and release because he's being funny here too. I shuffle right to release, which is the Death card in the tarot and represents the sign of Scorpio. And thereby the Scorpion King, of course. It's the end of a phase or situation, spiritual transformation. It's time to move on. Wow. It's Osiris versus Set. That's what it is. This is ego or the devil. And again, death, release or death. There we go. Good over evil. And he's on a roll, opening to the Knight of Water, who's emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, and contemplative. He's also a Scorpio, like King Osiris, or a Pisces or Cancer, or somebody taking on those traits or attributes. Falling in love or wedding proposals, the need to balance emotions, and maybe even an invitation to a social event, like a date, where you have cocktails, dinner, and cake. Death. And opening to Major Arcana card, the Wheel, also known as the Wheel of Fortune with Archangel Michael. A time of positive change. A situation suddenly moves forward. Fortune is on your side. Death. I'll go one more. Oh, somebody's still feeling lack, however. Fears surrounding money. Maybe you don't know how you're going to pay for the date, perhaps. The wisdom to accept help from others. Maybe somebody can figure out how you can arrange something nice. And uncertain self-employment. So you might have some long-term fear as well. As it relates to love, I usually connect this with like fear of abandonment or lack of confidence in getting out there, worry that your new relationship is going to lack the same things as your old one did. But remember, it's release or death of all that is old and no longer serves us. So let that go. Release. I'm going to cut. Aww. And it's Isis's card, the Lovers, with Archangel Raphael, representing the sign of Gemini. Intimate relationships. Carefully weigh your decisions. Good health. Of course, her 6 and his 13 on the death card equal King Osiris's 19. Oh, this is so awesome. The overall energy is the 4 of fire, or 11. Contentment, peace, and abundance. A very happy home life. The successful completion of a project. This can be about, moving into a new home or just finding peace in your home, comfort, feeling good about life, living life, loving life. Commitment can definitely be about commitment. Getting engaged, getting married even. Whoa, okay. I guess I'm meant to use these in this order. These cards just jumped out here. All right, I'm going to do this. Make sure everything is in frame. All right. I don't know if I was supposed to leave all of those there for the masculine, but whatever, I did it this way. It's too late now. Masculine. Oh no. 3 of air. Great sadness. Take time to heal. There's a need to forgive yourself and others. What happened between the 18th and our wonderful reading and now? Why is he in pain again? Surrounded by the 3 of earth, the power of creativity, recognition for very high quality work. Be a team player. So there may be something with a 3rd energy still getting at him. But remember, our overall energy is the 4 of fire. So peace. This could be energy that's releasing, that's being allowed to die. Let's see. In the masculine subconscious, it's Major Arcana card number 1, or the Magician with Archangel Raziel, also representing the sign of Gemini. You are ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest them. And life is magical. The Magician means that in this position in particular, in the masculine subconscious, means that he knows he has what he needs to make his dreams come true, to do whatever, to manifest whatever it is he would like to have and how he'd like to have it. Feminine, the Knight of Water. Again, emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, and contemplative. Falling in love or wedding proposals. The need to balance emotions and an invitation to a social event like dinner or a weekend away. The Knight of Water is a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer, or somebody with those attributes, traits, at least in this time. And similar to the weekly reading, where we had the King of Water here and the Queen of Air here, we still have potentially Gemini versus or our mirroring Scorpio, or air mirroring water. And I think the King of Fire was in this same place. So he's still here. King of Fire is motivational, idealistic, ambitious, and charismatic. Focus, focus, focus. Communicate with vision and be a leader. Take advice from someone creative. The King of Fire is the quintessential divine masculine of the tarot. He is also a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, or somebody taking on those traits or attributes. May be particularly impactful upon you in this day. For example, my divine masculine, King of Fire, is a Knight of Water. So these two can go together. However, at the same time, I have some Scorpio in my chart. Probably the biggest part, the Jupiter in Scorpio, but I've got it in a few places. And I'm a Leo rising. And I'm a Gemini. You know, so it can work out different ways like that, depending, you know, you apply it to your life. Feminine subconscious. It's the 4 of air, mirroring this 3 of air. So maybe there was pain. The masculine is feeling sorrow for having caused it, but the feminine's already to the point of where she is healing. It's time to rest or take a vacation. Let's just go on weekend away. I don't even want to think about that foolishness anymore, basically. Allow more time before making a decision, maybe as to whether or not you're going to accept this invitation to a social event, or maybe whether or not you're going to extend an invitation to a social event. Meditation may provide answers in either case. Crowning. It's the 8 of water, a desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful, spiritual, and emotional growth. So we could be desiring to move on from this pain. We don't want to hold on to it anymore. Again, that's why we're recovering. The masculine has the ability to do the same, to recover. He's the magician. He doesn't have to sit in and wallow. At the root, it's the dreamer. This is more Gemini for me, or perhaps Virgo. Why? Not as much connected to the Fool as it is connected to Archangel Metatron, specifically on this card in this deck. It has always said to me Mercury. And maybe because Enoch is Metatron, is thought. That may be why. And I associate it with Mercury in the communication planet, which rules both Gemini and Virgo. So that's how we get to how this card means those 2 zodiac signs for me. But it is, the dreamer is actually the Fool in the traditional tarot, major arcana card 0. And it's about taking a leap of faith, a chance, you know, throwing caution to the wind, as they say, following your dreams, because that can lead to unexpected opportunities. And at the heart of the matter, the 10 of Earth, a very happy family life. Security, finding magic in the little things in life. Next card is upside down. I was going to try to further clarify this 3 of air with it. I'm going to go on to Doreen Virtue, Romance Angels, beginning with romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. And open to heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Heart-to-heart conversations, and playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. Playfulness. And stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Playfulness. And healing family issues. That may have something to do with this as well. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. But it's not just your parents. It's any and everybody that's so impactful upon you that you feel like you can't live your life. You can't move forward without either walking away from them or repairing the relationship with them. Playfulness. I'm going to cut. So those family members that don't have to be parents can also be like wife, husband, ex-wife, ex-husband, and then, you know, maybe involving the party of 3, parent of your other child or something. Those are family members as well. And that can be what's causing some of this too. Because we have to keep in mind too, I didn't say anything about it, but again, the day before, is the 18th, the new moon. The new moon in Scorpio, like the zodiac sign of Scorpio and the planet that rules it, is going to be all about rebirth. So not only are new moons in general about birth of the new, but this is the Scorpio new moon is going to be about still getting rid of whatever we have that should have died, like crap that's still in our lives, that's junking up the place, like cleaning out, decluttering, basically. And so to allow for new things. That's what the new moon in Scorpio is going to be about, if you ask me. So anyway, we came back to romantic feelings after I did all that cutting, shuffling, and whatnot. Romantic feelings back on the bottom. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. This is the card with which I started. Overall energy is keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. Here, atop the Three of Air, religious factors, your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So yeah, this can definitely be a divorce or, again, pain that the masculine feels he's caused toward the sanctity, right, the sacredness of the union, or both. Atop the Three of Earth. Make the effort, because the Three of Earth is also about abundance. It's abundance earned. So making the effort would go toward earn, this abundance that you're gaining, even if it's love. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Atop the Magician, true love. The masculine has the ability to manifest this. It's within reach for him. He's the Magician, even if he's caused damage here. So he needs to be aware of that. This is the romance of a lifetime. Atop the Knight of Water, release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. I don't feel that for the majority, this is an ex as in an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend. I feel that it is express yourself. Maybe make the invitation again. Extend an invitation. Or something to the masculine for most of us. Because the time has come to clear your energy. You've been holding on to energy of the pain and resentment. So let that go. For some, yeah, ex. You've got an ex and you got to get him out of the way. Maybe he's a water sign, or maybe you're making room for the water sign or for your, or maybe you're taking on the energy of the water sign yourself. Whether you are actually a water sign or not. And so you're feeling in love and whatnot, and you have to clear the space out. You got to get rid of the ex, cut the cord so that you can, manifest that love. We have this Knight of Water mirroring the Magician. Atop the King of Fire, engagement, your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. And atop the Four of Air, you deserve love. You are lovable. So that's what the decision is about. It's a conscious decision as to, am I going to give myself a chance at love? Atop the Eight of Water, and moving on from the past and the hurt and stuff, how are we going to do that? Heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. At the root, atop the Dreamer, and taking a leap of faith. It's forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. And I think that that's another meaning here for the feminine. It's like your ex life, the past, the old stuff. Release that so that you can have, positivity and love. And at the heart of the matter, atop the Ten of Earth, which can absolutely represent family and a very happy family life, right? Financial security and all that is healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. So again, this is not just your parents. This is anybody with whom or by whom you feel restricted. You know, anybody that's so impactful and important in your life that they could hold you back. That's with whom you have to heal the relationship. Let's, this is upright. Let's see what else it has to say about release your ex. Playfulness. So again, instead of holding on to like old, stale energy and being uptight and heavy-hearted, we're going to try to move into a more light-hearted energy. Release your ex life that was painful. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. And the next card is upside down. So I'm going to grab these. I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet, but I'm beginning with the King of Cups. Again, a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer. And opening to the Queen of Staves in reverse. I think I'll just do some advice with these because I have Isis's cards here too, and I would like to do advice with those, and they take a little longer. King of Cups. And the Ace of Coins in reverse. I think we saw this in the weekly too. Some of us with a little delay in the abundance, but the universe wanting us to know it's still coming. King of Cups there. And opening to the Four of Staves, which again is our overall energy from the other deck. The Four of Wands, Four of Fire. Still about contentment, happiness, commitment, marriage, engagement, all of those things. And opposite the King of Cups, absolutely can be that. It can be a relationship with him, or it can be that, you know, this is your energy or your partner's energy or both. And that leads to this. King of Cups. I'll go one more. And it's Judgment in reverse. This can be about being stuck, holding on to, again, old stuff. Upright, we're actually making a decision as to how we're going to move forward and move ahead. In reverse, it can definitely be about us being stuck. King of Cups upright. I'm going to cut. If the King of Cups was also in reverse, I probably would have felt differently about the Judgment. But, I mean, especially because Judgment represents the planet Pluto for me, which rules Scorpio. But with him upright, he's in a good place. So it just speaks to me about some of us feeling stuck. And this is the Queen of Coins. She is in reverse, similar to the Ace of Coins, which is also in reverse. So again, for some of us, there's a little delay, it would seem, in the abundance. It's coming. The overall energy is Cleopatra and Caesar with fertility, or the Empress in reverse. Empress in reverse is about feeling stuck, similar to the Judgment, like we can't, like we're not ready to give birth to something. We are infertile. We also may not be feeling as attractive and awesome as we could be, should be. And for the masculine, that may be because of the pain that he's trying to work through. And for the feminine, that may be because of the old energy that she's trying to shake. From the Isis Oracle, I'm going to begin with Chariot of Ascension. And I think this is a play on words too. Like this is trying to be funny here with this too, with the chariot representing a sign of Cancer or water signs in the tarot. And of course, Ascension being raised. So this is like the horse-drawn buggy that's pulling us up into, you know, closer, nearer and dearer to our parents in the sky that happen to be a water sign. That's what I feel. And opening to soul retrieval, deep soul healing with the goddess. Chariot of Ascension. Key of life, spinning the Ankh, the key of life. Key of life now at the bottom. Stay true and be in your power, Osiris and Isis, Lord and Lady of divine authority. I think that speaks to these two cards, that be in your power, you know, like strengthen up and go for what you know here, whatever that means for you, masculine. And same thing for you, feminine. You know, you're a big girl. You can make your decisions. You can let go of how long are you going to hold on to this stuff? And you know what it causes to do so. You know it hurts you more than anybody else. It can make you physically ill, not other people. So, you know, we're moving into that place where we're just, I got to be mature now and stay true to myself and be in my power, like Osiris and Isis would do and would have me do. And opening to the Temple of Black Obsidian, the dark healing chamber. Maybe we need to work with gemstones in order to heal. Stay true and be in your power. Go one more. Portal of light. She glides on wings through time and space. Stay true and be in your power. I'm going to cut. Knot of Isis, energetic stabilization with the buckle of the beloved. So this is like finding balance and peace and Zen. Overall energy is ancient power mysteries. Hear the rattle of Isis playing. From the Lover's Path Tarot to the masculine, the Four of Cups upright. So masculine, you are doubtful of yourself here. And you are at risk, because you're being doubtful, of missing an opportunity for reconciliation. Remember, reconciliation was right here for the week up until the day prior, the 18th. Now healing family issues is here. This is similar. And we have the potential for a really happy family if we, you know, step in and do this. Have these heart-to-heart conversations, release any negativity and old pain. For the feminine, sacrifice with Orpheus and Eurydice. Sacrifice is the hangman. So feminine, we're being guided to take a step back and look at the bigger picture. I have a feeling it has something to do with this yet again, because everything else is really, really awesome. But here we're stuck. And we're stuck in old energy. Look and take a step back and look at the big picture and realize that you're stuck in old energy so that you can let it go. From the romance angels to the masculine, pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. You know what the red flags are? Just this one. It's reminding you, it's saying paying attention. It's reminding you of who you are. Just like the Isis card suggested, to be you and be in your power. You're the king of fire. Feminine. Finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. If you're among those for whom the abundance in the financial and material area is delayed, then just know that you still don't have a problem, because it's still coming to you. When the ace appears, it means it's on its way. There's a new beginning in that area is on its way, period. New money, new finance, new material things on their way to you. but it's delayed. It's still coming. So don't panic. And if you're not in that area, then just know, already everything's going to be all good. Especially with an overall energy of the Four of Wands and the heart of the matter of the Ten of Earth. And for the masculine, boom, the wheel with Archangel Michael. A time of positive change. A situation suddenly moves forward and fortune is on your side. This is in all areas of abundance. So love, material, financial, where you were stuck, you are no longer. Jupiter is helping you. And feminine, the king of air, brilliant, impartial, professional, and diplomatic is the king of air. Speak your mind with confidence. Seek out professional advice if you need to. Learn to balance your emotional and material considerations. Take all this in mind when you take a step back with that hangman energy and look at the bigger picture. Right? Look for balance. Be confident. Be you and be in your power. Just like I just told the masculine about reminding him that he is the king of fire. We can be the king of air and use this energy here. And lastly, for the masculine, from the Isis Oracle, Cartouche, divine names of power. This is connected to this as well, that being your power, that divine masculine, divine names of power. I went over this before. This is, the daddy and the boss and the king, all of those names of honor that we attribute to the divine masculine. This is him needing to believe for himself that he's those things. Like, you can't necessarily just tell him he is. It helps to uplift him, but he has to believe it too. So that's what this is going to be about. And for us, pyramid of light. Step your vibration deeper into love. Cartouche, divine names of power. Lady Isis initiates you now into her special mysteries. The use of sacred annotations. The words that you speak are rapidly gaining power. This is about manifestation too. Like your words becoming your reality. Your thoughts becoming your reality. To benefit from this power, rather than be undermined or held back by it, practice thoughtful speech and clear your heart of old unforgiveness. Let go of this pain. Thoughtful speech about yourself. I am a king. I am a boy, whatever it is. When you clear your heart of old unforgiveness, which can poison your words unintentionally, right, and have you talking down about yourself or speaking negativity over your own life into the universe. As your heart grows in purity, you'll be able to speak with spiritual authority, and what you speak of will come into being more swiftly, like what the magician can do. So this is what you want to bring into being. True love, you already got it. You have to believe it. It's going to come in more swiftly and more obviously. Isis is initiating you as a master healer in her sacred tradition of divine names of power. Feminine, for us, it's pyramid of light, psychic protection. Step your vibration deeper into love. As a being growing in significant light, darker energies can become more attracted to you. There's nothing to fear and only more mastery and awareness of the power and protection of divine love to experience. Here is guidance on the skills you have within so that you can deal with any undesired interference. The pyramid of light confirms that energies have been causing interference with your path, and it's time now to end that interference with love and compassion. So basically all the negativity that's trying to hold us back, whether it's physical people trying to get in our way intentionally, or energy onto which we've been holding that's old and toxic and negative, or situations with, close friends and or family members that we have not healed, that we, have refused thus far to forgive and learn from so that we can move on. Now is the time where we have to, for our own sake, like as I was saying before, transmute all of that negativity and darkness to love and use it to help to increase our own vibration. And Isis is going to help us too. I'm being told to look at the next card too. Okay, here we go. Aww, I'm glad we did. Rising Sun, the divine solar child reborn. So that's a perfect note on which to end the reading for the King of Death and Rebirth and all things. I hope that you have a good day on King Osiris's birthday. Have a cocktail, go out to dinner, eat some cake. Namaste, angels.